I work for a local NHS trust and was threatened by a patient, says John O. The patient said he was going to stab me because of my attitude. My employer failed to do anything and the police did nothing as well. I had months off work with stress. But it seems to be worse at the moment for some reason. We're talking about violence at the GPs. Kelly says, I'm a GP's receptionist. I've never known anything like it. So much screaming abuse. I'm often reduced to tears. It is disgusting how we are treated. Maybe I should retrain to be a baggage handler, she says. Radio 2 smart speaker sounds at 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 1 o'clock. This is Catherine Cracknell. The Transport Secretary Grant Shapps has been told to stop blaming companies for the travel chaos at UK airports. Russia has warned that American weapons being sent to Ukraine could cause the crisis to escalate. And West Ham's Kurt Zouma has been banned from keeping cats. Flight cancellations are continuing at UK airports as travel companies struggle to cope with the numbers of people trying to get away during the half-term holiday. More than 150 departures have been cancelled at Heathrow and Gatwick, and long queues have been reported at many airports. Yesterday, the Transport Secretary Grant Shapps accused airlines and operators of overselling flights and holidays. Labour said the government should stop blaming others and move heaven and earth to stop the chaos. The chair of the Association of Independent Tour Operators, Gemma Antrobus, says it's wrong for ministers to blame the industry.
Getting back to those levels of staffing, of training, is not as quick and simple as just a flick of a light switch. And it seems to me that that's exactly what the government expects us to have done, to have underfunded, to have not supported any way of retaining the talent that we had in the industry. And it's just not as simple as recruiting and employing someone on a Friday and then being up to speed by Monday. It doesn't work that quickly.
Boris Johnson's deputy, Dominic Raab, says the Prime Minister has answered questions about whether his COVID party fine was in breach of the ministerial code, which is normally a resigning matter. It's believed the number 10 ethics advisor, Lord Geit, threatened to quit after telling the PM there were legitimate questions about whether he'd failed in his duty to uphold the law. Boris Johnson says he wasn't in breach because he hadn't intended to break the law. The Conservative MP Hugh Merriman doesn't think the Prime Minister's fine for COVID rule-breaking should prompt a leadership contest.
It's very worrying. I've said before, those that set the rules have to be the first to abide by them, and it's incredibly disappointing. But I equally make what I hope is a valid point, that we can't expect to be able to deliver policy, to deliver change to the people that need it the most, if we are at the same time changing our government. You just can't do both.
Russia's warned the delivery of advanced American rocket systems to Ukraine increases the risk of a direct confrontation between it and the United States. Announcing the decision last night, President Biden said he'd received assurances from President Zelensky that the rockets would not be used to strike targets across the Russian border. The former war correspondent and military analyst Paul Moorcroft is concerned that pledge will be difficult to keep.
So we're escalating. We're putting more tactical level problems as far as Americans on the ground, and there is the possibility of accidents. And how do you stop the Ukrainians? They've already gone into Russia quite a few times. More and more American rockets going into Russia is a very grave escalation. This is a very dangerous time.
The online fashion firm Missguided has been bought out of administration by Mike Ashley's Frasers Group for £20 million. The retailer, which employs about 330 people, collapsed on Monday following supply chain problems, rising freight costs and increasing competition. Frasers Group already owns several high street brands, including Sports Direct and House of Fraser. A mounted soldier's been thrown from his horse and injured outside Buckingham Palace during preparations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. He's been taken to hospital after being treated at the scene. The horse is not believed to have been hurt. The West Ham footballer Kurt Zouma has been banned from keeping cats for 5 years. A video uploaded to social media in February showed him kicking and slapping his pet Bengal cat while saying, "I swear I'll kill it." He's also been ordered to carry out 180 hours community service. Thames Magistrates Court heard Mr Zouma had since received racist abuse and threats, lost a sponsorship deal and had no longer been picked for the French national team. Claire Dew, who's a chief inspector at the RSPCA, is satisfied with today's punishment.
I believe the sentence sends out the right message that all animals need to be treated with kindness, compassion and respect, and that abusing any animal in this way and then uploading it simply for likes is abhorrent. We're now busy matching the cats to new homes, and we hope to get them into new loving environments as soon as possible.
Manchester United have confirmed that one of their star players, Paul Pogba, is leaving the club on a free transfer at the end of the month. The French World Cup winner cost United a record £89 million when he joined from Juventus in 2016. And a 44-year-old man from Paris has broken the record for the most bungee jumps in 24 hours. Francois-Marie Dibon, who leapt from Gary Bridge in Perthshire, passed the previous record of 430 leaps less than halfway through his attempt. In the city, a short time ago, the 100 share index was down 15 points at 7,593. And the weather, a mix of sunshine, patchy cloud and scattered showers, which will be heavy at times and potentially thundery in the southeast, turning drier in the west with bright spells. And that's the BBC News at 1:05.
Thank you. Jubilee long weekend coming. And all-day Popmaster as well tomorrow.
88 to 91 FM. BBC Radio 2.
In this hour, if you are a Republican, should you try to hide it during your local street party?
Come and move that